targets up as Ragnaros landing a 4-man Sulfurous Smash. Durance of Hate from Mephisto, and this combination executed perfectly at the end of the game.
From Alarak. Make it a quad kill set up by that ETC.
Wow, did you see that mosh pit? 4-man mosh pit while on a conveyor belt. That was like a regular sushi line.
Nucrack, core at 50%. Both cores are just absolutely melting. Which one's going to go down first? I think this is going to be Respect the Gooses. Oh my goodness.
Ring. Oh my goodness, the ring. Jaina just pulling up everybody here. That's a 4, make it 5.
And it does not fall up. What a play! Oh my God! Somebody please clip that. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Season 9 playoffs here at Nexus Gaming Series. And already we got a hydrate request coming out. Thank you for being here, everyone in chat. Lockville Tura, this one's for you, my man. But welcome to the stream this evening. We got LuBu versus the PrimeApes, number 1 versus number 8. Unfortunately, we have been in delay this evening. It was supposed to start at 8:30. Captains agreed for a 9 o'clock kickoff here. So Stoic and I have been waiting. Stoic, how have you been doing during this pause and delay?
Good. Just I filled my water up right before 8:30, and I drank half of it. So we'll probably have to take a little break between games, but we'll see.
I luckily have 2 waters ready to go as always. Let's talk a bit about tonight's matchup, though. LuBu entering tonight as the number 1 seed here in these Division C East playoffs. They finished out the season with a record of 19-8, 26 points in the standings. We got another hydrate request coming in. And the number 8 seed, PrimeApes, they closed out the season at a record of 15-15. Dead even at 500 there, Stoic.
Yeah, not bad. Got them into the playoffs, which is what they want to be, and here they are in week 1. Looking to see if they can pull off the upset that happened in C West. Pull off the upset like what happened in C West.
Big upset on the other half of the C bracket. It was Team Training Wheels knocking off, what was her name again? Better Than Bots, right?
Yeah.
That was a big upset. Here we go, game number 1 already, and let me quickly talk about our map bans that happened this evening. We had Tomb of the Spider Queen and Sky Temple banned away by the PrimeApes. LuBu banned away Towers of Doom and Volskaya Foundry. Here we are on Dragonshire for game number 1 with LuBu first to pick, first to ban. And we're already in the action, Stoic. We had a delay, but we're right into the action almost immediately here.
Yeah, something interesting is LuBu dominated 60% of their opponents this season. But one of those was not the PrimeApes. LuBu won last time these two faced off, but PrimeApes took a map off of them.
Ooh, that is of note.
This is of note that LuBu, the dominating team of the league, PrimeApes have got a map before. Can they get 2 now?
Maybe I can do some quick research and figure out what map they played that they were able to win.
It was, I have it pulled up here. They won on Brax's Holdout.
Okay, so maybe we see some Braxis later on. It's not banned out. But speaking of bans, Rexar and Johanna, the first 2 taken away.
You know what? Dragonshire being the map pick here from PrimeApes, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Maybe they got something prepared. Dragonshire is a big map. Lots of complicated things can happen.
Well, I do like seeing that ban onto Rexar. Being Dragonshire, one of the stronger heroes for that top lane, someone who can hold on to the beacon and also maintain presence, clearing out minions in the wave. A strong hero in his own right, and I definitely agree with it being a top-tier ban here from LuBu. Let's see the final one from PrimeApes. It's going to be Cassia, and she's at a 63% win rate right now in Storm League. Absolutely need to be concerned about her all night long.
Alan Hicks picks up the ETC, strong tank to start off, not worried about being countered. His ETC has lots of answers and can fit into many drafts. Tank pool May not allowed. Mal'Ganis back in the pot, so other top tier tanks looking like Mal'Ganis or Garrosh from the red team, probably.
Yeah, with that Johanna taken away already, it's gonna reduce the tank pool just a bit. We'll see if they want to grab one early. No, it's just going to be Jaina and Yrel for now.
Interesting. Yeah, picking up 2 strong heroes here. Both of these fine ladies. But you know what? Not picking up a ban in this first round allows Team LuBu to continue to cut down on the tank possibilities now.
Yeah, a good point. And I don't know exactly what they're going to want to ban out until we see these picks. There's Greymane and Kael'thas. They get a great auto attacker in Greymane, and Kael'thas, one of the stronger mages here in Division C East. Do you consider banning out a tank, or do you take out a support at this point? I'm not sure.
You know, with the tank pool being limited, Mei being off limits, you know, and Johanna and ETC now off the table, I would hope that they've done their research, and I think that they ban something like Garrosh, Mal'Ganis, or Diablo, trying to cut down that tank pool even further and further, you know, kind of, tanks set the pace for the match, control how they want to take their fights. That's what I would think, but then again, here I am casting, not playing in the playoffs, so take that with a grain of salt.
Well, I do like that ban onto Deathwing, and we are going to see a ban on a Assassin. It's Zeratul banned away by LuBu, which is going to leave open those options at tank. It's going to leave open every single healer. None chosen yet, none banned yet. So plenty of ways to go here for Hiva and the PrimeApes. I think you go ahead and I think you got to take your support here. No sense in waiting. Get the one you want. Here's Maiev, and they will go ahead and grab a Rhaegar.
Oof. This does put them in an interesting position with Jaina being the solo ranged damage, unless Frozen plans on picking up an auto attacker and having Yrel be the main tank here.
Well, of note, they're going to have that Warden's Cage into the Ring of Frost combo, so if they get anyone locked in the cage, it's going to be pretty easy pickings for Arrow playing this Jaina here in Game 1. There's Deckard Cain for Suikoden, and in the solo lane for Spartacus, it will be Leoric.
You know, the ring combo combined with the ring cage combo is a good one, but you know, that's a lot going on with the Rhaegar Bloodlust into that. But Deckard Cain shuts it all down with a quick sleep.
This is true. This is very true.
And you know what? With a melee heroes in Maiev, Rhaegar, and the tank they pick up will be melee as well. That's a lot of opportunity to spread bombs.
Spread bombs, but you also got to think about this. It could certainly be the Bloodlust here in game number 1 for PrimeApes. I'd almost guarantee it, actually. I think the Ancestral does work nicely with Muradin, of course. But do you just rip out that Bloodlust and take any fight in their face when you get that Warden's Cage out? I think maybe you do.
I think that definitely is I think they're looking to fight on that Bloodlust cooldown, definitely. But gotta be careful when you're looking to have all those melee heroes collapse on the targets.
Well, I am opening up a poll asking you guys who you think is going to win this game number 1. Will it be LuBu or will it be PrimeApes? The poll is open, so head on over to chat right now over the top. Select the team you want to win and be sure to hit that submit button. Stoic, game number 1. Who do you got winning this one?
I think I give this one to LuBu. I think PrimeApes. I mean, if Maiev and Yrel can be jumpy, and I think that they can pull this one off, but definitely the burden of execution here is put on the PrimeApes. But I think LuBu's gonna take this one.
Yeah, and I think a lot is going to be in the hands of Deckard Cain, played by Suikoden here. Will those stay a while and listens be on point? Can they shut down if it's the Bloodlust? Will he hit multiple targets and be able to disengage some of those fights? And then, of course, you mentioned with that Warden's Cage on the other side, another great opportunity if he sees that coming out to save a few heroes. Deckard Cain really could walk away as our Game 1 MVP if played correctly.
New follower detected.
Suikoden, lots of power in the hands here.
Question for you Recliner, appreciate the follow. Go ahead, Stoic.
I was going to say, question for you. You ask chat who they want to win. When you ask me, are you asking me who I want to win or who I think will win?
Oh, you got to stay completely, neutral. You just got to tell me who you think's going to win. I don't want your opinion.
But chat, you want chat's opinion.
Yes.
But you want chat.
I want their preference. I want your opinion.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Fair. Yeah, I don't know. I'm confusing myself here.
All right, loaded on in here. Game number 1. Welcome to Dragonshire, ladies and gents. On the left-hand side, the number 1 seed here in Division C East. We got Alan Hicks playing the ETC. Sukadin on Deckard Cain. Streakwing going to be playing the Greymane here. Spoticus on Leoric. And down in the solo lane currently, it is Bandit. Actually going to rotate up to mid, playing the Kael'thas. Give it up for the number 1 seed, LuBu.
And the number 8 seed in C East, we have Hiva playing Maiev, Frozen on Muradin, Joshua Scott playing Yrel, 11th on Rhaegar, and Arrow playing Jaina. It is the PrimeApes looking for the upset.
And to be fair, everyone recognizes this is Arrow 2, okay? You might know Arrow 1. You've probably seen Arrow 1 do a lot of casting. Arrow 2, as far as I know, pretty new to NGS, and he walked into a place and he didn't know there was another Arrow here. You can't blame him for that.
Yeah, the no-name shade there. A couple of interesting talent pickups on level 1 from the Team LuBu. We're seeing Prog Rocks, as well as Field Study for Deckard Cain, looking to get that spell damage.
Yeah, a couple of Globe Gatherers joining forces here. The Kael'thas, the ETC, already at 3 stacks in the early portion. That is 1 stolen Globe if you're doing the math. So nice work so far by that combo.
Yeah. And interesting, Leoric taking Fealty unto death. He's looking to probably get that double soak, I imagine.
Yeah, it's going to give him a bit more sustainability in the lane. Right now, running up and down between top and mid, as you're saying, that double soak, which could be a pretty good strategy here, especially if they're able to get these giants out early. Can see both sides of the map right now, and not even on it yet is the PrimeApes, just finally moving their way over to their own siege giants. So it might be a little bit of an advantage in this bottom lane for just a few moments, as looks like Greymane might actually start up the Bruiser camp as well. Going to join is Kael'thas and Deckard Cain. So double camps early for the PrimeApes. This should be a nice advantage during our first objective phase.
I think you're right. I think that this is a strategy that LuBu has practiced, noticing that Deckard Cain dropped a potion at 50-second mark. Before Greymane had even begun the camp, Deckard was ready.
Someone's got to stall out mid until people can get down here to this bottom beacon. This Moonshrine and Sunshrine currently in control of the PrimeApes. Finally, though, ETC and Deckard Cain able to walk onto the point as Leoric was babysitting that mid-temple. Nicely done by LuBu, but here comes our first engage of the game.
Yeah, a little bit of hesitation for the red team. Oh, as Hiva does her Warden's Leap thing, has the bomb, is not able to... uses the leap to stop the first instance, but not the last. As Kael'thas finds the first blood.
Yeah, that Flame Strike was perfectly placed by Bandit. Well done to get first blood of the game. Still looking at finding globes. Now at 10 stacks already for Kael'thas. Insane. We're only 2 minutes and 30 seconds in.
Yeah. It's that's halfway to the shield. That's quite impressive. Rotation priority definitely going over in favor here of blue team, as they now have captured both shrines. Kael'thas finishing the channel. Dragon Knight 2 minutes 45 seconds.
Oh boy, that's tough. I didn't get the follow up on that camp in the top lane. Looks like it's been cleared out. Minimal damage onto that wall, so a good defense from Yrel in the top lane up against the Bruiser camp. But here's another engage down on the bottom. Power slide through on Muradin. Frozen should be just fine, and there's the boot from the Dragon Knight. See if they can get one of these walls down. They're already showing they want to prioritize this bottom lane, which I think is the absolute correct decision. And if they're able to get through this well, that'll be a big success during the first objective, to say the least.
Definitely. You know, this bottom lane, opening it up means Siege Giants get more value, Bruisers get more value. Kael'thas a little bit in danger here, because he won't be able to complete that well. Turns around, loops Arrow away. Can probably get out one more breath. Maybe another here, as the Dragon Knight will fall.
Yeah, so they're not able to get the fountain down, but a good Flame Strike will help do it. And look who's stuck inside. Muradin becomes the second kill of the game for LuBu, and now without a tank here. A huge sieging opportunity for LuBu. I would love to see them continue pressuring in. A mini wave about to be here. And it's still 6 seconds till Muradin's back up, but instead looks like they're dropping down to grab this Bruiser camp instead.
Yeah, with that inner beast with Greymane and Kael'thas, they're going to be able to easily clear this camp. Red team knows it, but can't contest.
Leoric also making a long walk down here to the bottom lane. 5 heroes for LuBu in this position.
I think Leoric I think the call probably was there in comms, like, hey, they might invade. We want to win handily, so just come down. But Leoric's such a speedy rotator. Blue team on their camp immediately. Possibly could invade.
Yeah, I'm a little disappointed. They had that advantage without Murden on the map. They grabbed the Bruiser camp, and then they don't even escort it in onto the fort. So do they even end up getting any damage onto this fort? I don't know. Maybe not.
Yeah. That's true. Bruiser camp taken, and looks like XP will be the big takeaway there.
Well, they do have a nice half-level lead as the Siege Giants have made it here. Still, no one picking up the Siege Giants for the second time for the PrimeApes. So they will have at least some sort of Merc advantage here. Now ETC under pressure, power sliding out of that Blizzard. We'll be back to safety. Big chunks.
My beloved is
Yeah,
gone.
but look, without a ranged damage dealer, other than Jaina, it's tough that these Siege Giants are getting lots of damage in here. They're living for an exceedingly long time.
I want to say a quick thank you in chat to Hydra Hawk for hitting that follow button. Appreciate you being here this evening. Thank you for stopping in and checking out the Division C East playoffs here in the quarterfinals between LuBu and the PrimeApes. Siege Giants still trying to throw some stones, but none of them locked on the fort. Maev doing a good job of just kind of baiting them around and making sure no damage gets done. And they'll finally be cleared up by Jaina. Successful defense in my opinion, and maybe less so a success for PrimeApes, but more so a misplay in my opinion by LuBu, not making more pressure happen in this bottom lane.
Yeah, possible misstep here. They're going to get the early channel on bottom. Conceding that Siege Camp top. ETC looking for a slide. Wait, what?
Yeah, Yarel was on the top point, but Leoric was there channeling immediately, so we're already 2 Dragon Knights in, and it's only 6 minutes.
Yeah, I missed that one. Well, good job, blue team. It looks like red missed it as well. Bloodlust comes in here, though, when they're down a man.
Oh, perfectly done. The mosh pit's going to come out, and then Kael'thas was kind of stuck in a weird spot during all of that. Will be the one to fall. No kills for LuBu, but they do have the Dragon Knight on the map. Currently trying to take down this mid-fort wall. Does get through the 2 towers. Now going to rotate up top, booting away Joshua Scott and that Yarel. But man, you got a Dragon Knight. You had a nice little advantage going, but now we're almost locked up on XP. That was the first kill of the game for the PrimeApes.
Yeah, good. That was a strong combo there, but the moment that Jaina was allowed to drop her ult there, secured that kill on a Kael'thas, even though with that ETC with the great mosh pit.
That beast is not my
You gotta credit Suikoden. Heard the Bloodlust, immediately hitting that stay a while and listen. That's what slowed down the play. But Jaina, she wasn't in there. That was the problem.
Oh, she didn't get hit by it.
I don't think she did, no.
She was in range and she just drops her abilities and says, here's some damage.
Bruiser camp number 2 going to be grabbed by LuBu as Leoric's going to try to get back to the double soak. Might be a rotation up in the top lane on this Yarel. We'll see if Joshua Scott senses it. 4 heroes making the rotation up as Leoric's trying to soak mid. Power slide not going to connect, but Joshua Scott's going to live for now, but going to have to deal with this Bruiser camp pushing in. And it looks like this time LuBu trying to siege along with it.
Yep. Joshua Scott did a great job of pre-juking there. But you can see dodging before ETC's abilities came out. You can see good parry. Oh, here's the red team now. It's their turn to rotate in.
Big curse bullet onto Murden, pops the avatar. There's that Warden's Cage, Ring of Frost combo. All slowed down by the Stay While and Listen, but already 2 kills. Greymane, Kael'thas both down. There goes ETC. It's a triple kill for the number 8 seed PrimeApes, looking really good after falling a couple times early. They've gotten the last 4 kills in the game and now have an XP lead stoic.
Yeah, you know, a little bit of anti-synergy there as Kael'thas' Phoenix ultimate actually was just waking them up.
Good point.
Prepare yourselves, heroes. The shrines will soon be
And now they have a
activated.
strong lead going in here. It's up to them to set up to get this quick 3rd objective.
They can probably go ahead and grab this Bruiser camp right now. There they go, but they are showing on the wave, so information has been provided over to LuBu. Will they run down here in time and be able to do anything about it? The answer to that is no. First Bruiser camp of the game pick up here in the bottom lane for the PrimeApes.
Now have your rail set up in top to jump over that wall to take that
Control both shrines.
top sun
The
shrine if she'd
Dragon
like.
Knight's power is
Rhaegar
yours.
doing a little scouting on the bottom, sees 4 members of the blue team. Now 5 in this bottom lane.
Yorik's found a few heroes as well, it appears. Spartacus going to try to Wraith Walk in, but without any support. Not going to be able to do too much. Bruiser camp has been cleared out by LuBu. Now you see those greater healing potions for Deckard Cain. Can provide more healing now. They're bigger, they're tastier, more juice in the can.
LuBu just deciding to take bottom lane as their own, which is the lane they have the most pressure in, definitely. Not at all making their move to the top, just willing to stay in a standoff, which though lets Red know that it's PrimeApes. They're looking to aggress again with Bloodlust off cooldown.
There is a Bruiser camp in that top lane pushing for the PrimeApes. Urel still in possession of the Sun Shrine, and here comes Frozen in 11th, trying to move on to the Moon Shrine in the bottom lane. Rotation coming out from Leoric. There's a stay along and listen. Curse Bullet gonna hit onto Murden. Leoric is here. Good mosh pit. Gonna be interrupted, or actually no, it doesn't get interrupted by the Ring of Frost. Although Alan Hicks did get hit, falling very low. There's the Bloodlust finally as Jaina's gonna fall. A double kill already for LuBu, and in full retreat mode is Rhaegar and Murden. They're gonna make it back. But this is gonna be double shrines right now for the blue side as they lose their top 4. This one's going down in just a moment.
Red team.
They're gonna have to make the rotation up to the top and deal with this Urel.
That was an excellent fight there. If you notice, Deckard Cain dropped the Stay a While and Listen before Bloodlust came out, which I thought was gonna be a mistake, but that was setting up for ETC to get in there, get that slide, drop the mosh, and for Leoric to get in there with the flank. So well coordinated team fight from LuBu should get them this objective.
Well, they're still not on the top shrine. Deckard started it up, but then said, hey, I got to make it down to the bottom and help out ETC, who is dealing with Murden and Rhaegar by himself. But they retreat, and now it's their chance to pick up their 3rd dragon of the game. Suikoden's going to be the one trying to channel it away. Here comes Maiev, does get the interrupt with Fan of Knives. Joshua Scott still walking in with Urel, pressuring him back. There's a stay along and listen onto 2 targets. Curse Bullet's going to hit Murden. Power slide through, and the finish, is it there? Yes, it is. Murden has fallen. Leoric throws out the Entomb, but he might fall as well. Big spread from that Flame Strike, getting 3 targets. Ring of Frost now landing onto Kel'Thas as the living bombs are trying to chunk out the backline, not quite getting a kill. There's Ardent Defender from Urel. Should be enough to get her back to safety. That's going to leave open the Dragon Knight once again for LuBu.
Now it burns.
Greymane looking at this mid fort, decides, nope. Bottom keep wall is the play. Goes the shortcut way. Okay, dropping an early route. Waiting for the wave to push up, wants to get the full 60-second value here out of this Dragon Knight, not wanting to take any free damage. Excellent play here from the Greymane.
You know what I've been liking in this game so far, Stoic, is the Greymane play. The Cursed Bullet constantly making sure Murden's not able to play as aggressive as he wants, because every time he steps in, 50% of his health bar is gone, and that means the Avatar needs to be there, or else you might be losing your tank, and you know, Urel can't do the job without him. It's got to be Murden in here, and the Cursed Bullet's really slowing it all down for them. Trying to finish off this keep. Can they get it done with the Dragon Knight? Not quite yet, and it looks like Leoric might be caught out a bit. There's the Warden's Cage as the Mosh Pit can hit onto 3 different heroes. First to fall in the fight was Urel, but ETC falls as well. A 1-for-1 trade here, as there might be more. There goes Leoric. Kel'Thas now in trouble, and I don't think Bandit's getting away. Oh, the ice block!
Excellent ice block here. Kel'Thas will fall to the Murden.
Oh, Arrow looking good with that ice block at the last moment. Flame Strike was at his feet, ready to kill him.
Yeah, and that keep survives, which is huge, because this fort will continue to, means not constant catapult pressure. Even a sliver of health here is a big deal.
We'll be combating camps here in the bottom lane, a Bruiser camp for the PrimeApes as they're going to try to work on their siege as well. There goes Jaina picking that up. Double camp now in the bottom lane for them. This will be their second fort wall being worked on. Top fort's already fallen with a good help before from Urel in that Bruiser camp. Now a potential invade. Jumping over the wall is Murden. Also warping over is Maiev. And this is a fantastic steal on the Bruiser camp. Well done by the PrimeApes once again.
Yeah, excellent quick call there. Spartacus now in a little bit of trouble here as he's used his Wraith Walk. Will make it around that corner to safety, but just barely.
Little Bridge of Death there.
Yeah.
Not wanting to press in. Understandably so.
Awakened.
Finally cleared up in the bottom lane after getting the wall as that Bruiser camp and the Siege camp which is heading down from the PrimeApes. Shrine's active in 20 seconds, and we've already seen 3 DKs from LuBu, and that's really the difference maker in this game so far. They're down on kills, but they're up in objectives, and that's given them the structural lead, but will it last? ETC under some pressure, having to power slide out, but pulled right back in by Maiev. There's a stay a while and listen yet again. This time, though, ETC should be able to walk away from it. Yarel's going to try to chase it down, and oh man, Alan Hicks could be in trouble. No! Still going to make it out as the Bloodlust came out. It wasn't enough to get Rhaegar away. There's the Warden's Cage as Jaina's going to fall. No. Ice block again from Arrow, but sitting on top is Leoric. Double kill for LuBu. The Entomb coming out, locking in Maiev. Triple kill and wide open on the objective, Stoic. LuBu could be looking to finally finish off this keep.
Yeah, this counter engage coming so strong from Team LuBu. They're going to get this bottom keep. They're going to ignore Yeah, they're going to ignore this objective, and I think this is the call here. Murd and Yrel have lots of disruption, but not a lot of damage here. And all 5 members being up for blue team could mean this core falls.
This is a great call, going for it. They have 20 seconds until the first hero will be respawning. That'll be Rhaegar. Will not have the Bloodlust, so opportunity to at least get some damage onto this core. Already got the shield down. 87% that pick up the kill onto Murden. Just Yrel standing in here trying to swat back Greymane. Gets the kill on the most critical hero. But the core is at below 50% health. Can they get it done? Here comes Rhaegar.
Bandit pops shield there. They've been stacking all game and have it quite healthy. Yrel not able to pull off the defense as LuBu takes game number 1.
Great core call. They knew that keep was at like 1 health. They said, hey, we got 3 down. Let's go for it. I mean, it's the right call, and it's the win.
Yeah, excellent shot calling there to just recognize that, wait, there's an objective, but we don't need the objective. We have an advantage. Let's end this game. Excellent work. Great play there. What a back and forth game.
Absolutely. You know, they won all the objectives. They only needed the 3. They could have gotten 4 if they really wanted it. But they finally take over the kill count. 10-9 is the final score there between these two teams. And just reaching level 20 at the end is enough for LuBu to secure their first map of the night in this best of 3 set. Stoic, who is your game number 1 MVP?
Gotta give.
I think there's only one answer. If you're wrong, I'm gonna have to correct you.
Are you gonna say Suikoden?
I think it has to be Deckard Cain. Those stay along and listens multiple times were able to do some work in the fights, whether it was helping set up the mosh pit or whether it was like slowing down and interrupting the value from the Bloodlust. I think Suikoden did a great job.
I think you're right. I think I'll give honorable mention here to Spartacus. I think New York did a great job soaking as well. Kill participation, even being in that bruiser solo lane position, was still very, very high. But I think definitely Suikoden had quite a few good shutdowns of the of that Bloodlust. So excellent job there on the well-timed sleeps.
Well, I'm already getting invited to our lobby, so it looks like we won't be taking a break, but I will use this time to encourage you guys. Today they released, or was it yesterday, the Caster of the Season poll. If you've been enjoying the casting here, whether it's just me or Stoic's been with me so many times throughout the season, we are encouraging you. Go out there, place your votes for Murda and Stoic if you like us. We'd appreciate it. We love you guys. Hopefully you love us as well. I know, Stoic, you got a smile on your face. Your first time doing this caster polling stuff.
Yeah, it's nice to have some. It's nice to have your support, Murda. I'm honored to have the greatest caster, Murda.
You got my vote today, Stoic. I'll let everyone know that. If you want to vote for Stoic for the co-caster of the season, I definitely urge you guys to go out and do that. We got all of our players here in our lobby, though. I think we might be ready to go for game number 2 already.
I'm ready to go to game number 2. Game number 1, excellent play. Really, while Team LuBu was dominating in the objectives, PrimeApes were right up there. We're leading in kills until that last moment here. I think just a slight over eagerness of that final Bloodlust really did them in, but definitely like they've shown that they can pull it off here. I think PrimeApes could make a comeback happen in game 2 and 3. It's not out of the realm of possibility here.
Well, Stoic, our game number 1 poll, 67% of the vote went over to LuBu. Chat, you guys are 1 for 1 this evening. Well done choosing that game 1 victor. looks like we're going to have a slight delay here. We're going to have a quick BRB from the PrimeApes, so we can continue chatting and talking about our next map. It's going to be Battlefield of Eternity this time, Stoic. 2 lanes, not 3. Does that make a difference?
I don't think so. A lot of what we saw here were the 2 teams moving as 4, with Yarel and Leoric both doing, solo lane things. So I think that won't be the deciding factor here. I think Battlefield of Eternity is just as complex of a map as Dragonshire. I think they're the 2 most nuanced maps. So I think it will come down to who can be patient as well as play the macro game correctly.
Yeah, I feel like Battlefield of Eternity a bit more scripted than Dragonshire. You got to have those Bruiser Shaman camp out right when the objective's spawning at 2:30. And whether or not you're able to find some kills and maybe some a bit of space created to work on one of those camps, whether it's in the top lane or the bottom lane, it's a much more projected play than we see over on Dragonshire with the camps there. What are your thoughts, however, on the objective? Who's going for the racing comp here? Who's going to play more defensively after seeing game 1?
You know what? I think that you're right. The macro is definitely more scripted, but it's this objective where things get crazy on BOE. And I think that from what we saw, I think that PrimeApes is going to want to take the aggressive position here. Watching those fights, I mean, they wanted the Bloodlust comp. They're obviously looking to be the aggressors. I think that they're going to want to take the you can race, but we're going to kill you kind of composition here.
Well, we did see a gray main in game number 1, and my god, I feel like I haven't seen a lot of gray mains recently, but on a map like Battlefield of Eternity, could make sense that we end up seeing him again. We did also see the ban onto Cassia in game number 1. I think she's super strong. She can be great here as well on Battlefield of Eternity, just because you're always fighting, right? It's fight after fight, and Cassia with that auto attack build is just so good right now. I would not be surprised if we have to see another ban on her.
Yeah. Interesting with the blue team LuBu being first pick. That means that Team PrimeApes chose Battlefield of Eternity, so they want to either counter draft and grab that last pick, or they're looking to have a specific strategy planned out here for us.
I'm a little bit confused why they didn't bring us into Braxis Holdout. They had 2 opportunities tonight to go to that map where they already showed success up against LuBu earlier in the season. Do you think it's maybe a mistake that they had choice of maps in games 1 and 2 and we don't end up seeing Braxis?
That's a really good question, because in their match previously this season, they played on BOE and lost to Team LuBu. So maybe they say, you know what, it was a close one, we can come back. PrimeApes probably ban here the Vala is my guess.
The Vala? Do you think leave open the Cassia and the Grey Main, ban out a Vala here?
I'm just thinking map picks. They banned it last time. Maybe.
Did they ban Vala? Not in this
last
matchup.
time, as in last.
Oh, okay. Well,
I'm looking at historical data here.
Historical data. I got you. Okay. Well, instead, they're going to take out the 2 big tanks in this meta, Johanna and ETC. Going to leave open pick number 1 for LuBu. Do they hop on one of these strong heroes? Is it the Cassia? I think maybe it might be.
Yeah, I mean, Cassia's not a bad pick here.
I don't think it's a bad pick anywhere.
Yeah, true. I mean, there it is. Stray Queen says, "Thank you, thank you for my damage. Well, I'll take that KDA boost. Thank you very much."
So, from what I've heard, she's at a 63% win rate in Storm League right now at the highest levels. She is above average in terms of balance right now, and being able to grab her early in a draft, I think makes sense. It will leave open, well, stuff like Raynor and Imperius, I suppose.
Yeah, the only reason why I think that they wouldn't have taken the Cassia is because other heroes who are slightly better at the race are available. But I mean, they still have an option to pick up a racing hero, or they just say, I'm going to find someone, throw them back, and Cassia is going to evaporate them.
I think they got to go with something like Malfurion when they show the Garrosh. Instead, this makes sense too. Kael'thas can help Garrosh out with the gravity laps on those tosses, but they don't have all the lockdown that I think they're going to end up chasing by the end of this draft. Kael'thas is just the start for them.
Yeah, PrimeApes now again in this position where another tank could be denied.
I think you ban out the Deckard Cain, honestly. It played well in game number 1. We called it our MVP. Instead, it's going to be Artanis taken away with the final ban for the PrimeApes. But if they are able to get on that Deckard Cain again, I think it's another hero that could pair in nicely with Garrosh. Help lock in those heroes a bit further along with Kael'thas. And it was our game 1 MVP. So did they forget about that? Maybe?
I think maybe this says they don't want to do that Rhaegar Bloodlust again. Or they knew the Rhaegar was going to get banned, so they didn't think they'd need the... I think maybe this is they know that they're going to ban Rhaegar, and so we don't need to ban Deckard, because Deckard's the counter to Rhaegar kind of 5-head play.
There's the Li Ming, going to be pretty good at racing here. Plenty of orb damage, magic missiles as well, and Lucio will be the support. They don't take away the Deckard Cain. You're going to leave it wide open here. And I got to believe Suikoden's going to be very happy when he sees this. I would not be surprised if he locks it in again. They got 14 seconds to make that pick. They still need their solo lane as well. I'm not too worried here for LuBu. I think they're already ahead in this draft. Just having the Cassia, we see Harkin Giants Bane in chat saying Cassia does such a good job of shutting down so much of Rainer's attack damage. Solo lane will be Dahaka. That's my favorite hero. And Anduin, not what I was expecting, but still a good hero with a lot of lockdown to help out this Garrosh.
Yeah. I mean, if Garrosh gets too far out, gets pulled, gets pushed, gets stabbed, Anduin a quick steal. Frozen picked up again for... Or Muradin picked up again by Frozen here.
All right, well, game number 1, you guys in chat picked the correct winner. You chose LuBu. I'm going to ask you again for the second time tonight, who will win game 2? Will it be LuBu or will it be the PrimeApes? And let me make the poll a little bit shorter. There we go. 2 minutes is sufficient. And it's open. Stoic, I need your deep diving analysis of who is going to win this game number 2.
You know, when you asked earlier who was going to be the race and who was going to be the fighty comp, I made a mistake very much here. PrimeApes have drafted a comp to race. They can get kills, definitely. I mean, Imperious, Li Ming, definitely a lot of damage coming out. But I'm going to give this to him with momentum going to LuBu. I'm going to give LuBu this one. But again, the burden of execution on the red team, they definitely can come back and win this. Lucio can definitely run it down with Muradin and Imperious. Scary amounts of chase and damage. But I'm going to give it to LuBu here.
Yeah, I think if Lucio is able to boost in this Imperious and Joshua Scott can hit some of these big impales, that could be the recipe for success, especially if it's a target like Anduin getting caught out, a little bit less mobile than some of the other supports in the game, especially the one you see on the other side, Lucio, the most nimble of them all. They have potential for kills, and whenever you have a Li Ming on your team, you got to be worried about kill number 1, because that could mean kills 2, 3, 4, and 5 right behind it.
Yeah, here's a good question, though. Think about this. Who is kill number 1 here? Look at the blue team. This Kael'thas did an excellent job of stacking globes in game 1. Bandit, great, excellent work. That shield came in clutch. Who are they going to kill?
Great point. Yeah, it's not an obvious kill target. Cassia gonna have so much armor stacked up, of course Garrosh as well. So if you're not getting on the Kael'thas and Anduin, you're exactly right. There's not an easy kill target here on the side of LuBu.
Yeah, I think if LuBu makes a mistake here, PrimeApes can capitalize it. We saw that in game 1, that they had great defenses, they had excellent turnaround, they had excellent team fights. So I guess maybe this game goes down to, will LuBu misstep in positioning or macro that will allow PrimeApes to start the snowball rolling?
Well, a little bit of a delay here. I don't know what's taking so long to load in. Looks like Muradin having some trouble launching onto Battlefield of Eternity. Our poll has been completed, and 100% of the vote has gone over to LuBu. You guys think they're going to walk away with a domination tonight here in the quarterfinal round? I think I agree with you. What we saw in game number 1 was a lot of, in my opinion, to say it nicely, they just had the other team's number. They did what they wanted in most of the events that took place. They did lose some of the team fights, but it seemed like they had a better grasp of the map, and I wouldn't expect anything different here on BOE.
Yeah. We're going to see what happens as we continue to wait. I want to think here that PrimeApes have something for us. They've prepped this. They got heroes that you'd want on a map like this. Li Ming, Raynor. They're going to show us something funky.
We are in. We do have a disconnect. So we might see a pause. But let's go ahead and start introducing these players. Looks like he may have rejoined. A pause actually came out from LuBu. And it looks like we have an invisible mount being called out. So we might actually have to relaunch this game. Suikoden playing with an invisible mount. We'll see if see what they have to say.
You know, Suikoden. No, never mind. I was gonna start making some conspiracy theories.
Well, it's good to see at least they're catching it before we get going on the map. Looks like they're good with it. Looks like they're good with it. Okay.
You know, that invisible mount is a little bit hard to see, but not going to matter to the players here.
Well, isn't this the fog map anyway? So they're going to be hard to see either way.
That's true.
Well, let's start
Invisible
introducing
Becker.
these players again. Over here on the left-hand side is our number 1 seed in Division C East. It's Spartacus playing the Garrosh, Streakwing on the Cassia, Bandit once again playing Kael'thas, Suikoden on the Anduin, and playing my favorite dinosaur. It's Alan Hicks on Dahaka. Give it up for the number 1 seed, LuBu.
10 seconds.
And down 1 game in the on the red team is Haiba playing Li Ming, Arrow playing Raynor, 11th on Lucio, Frozen playing Muradin, and Joshua Scott on Imperius. It is the PrimeApes hoping to bring this game back in game number 2.
We are currently in a foggy situation. A few heroes grabbing that stealth. Final hero to grab it there was Lucio, and you're going to try to find heroes, but it can be tough sometimes now on BOE, especially in the early portions. Where are they hiding out? You go full stealth, you grab your stealth and run around. So far, waves here, I think they're just wanting to fight.
Yep. Early clear for the red team as they're going to pull these down. Blue opting to keep their stealth. Spartacus looks for that big Q, finds 2, stacking his Warbreaker. But overall, pretty uneventful so far. Big stun into Garrosh. Lots of that armor procced. Oh!
Garrosh has to be careful.
Yeah, doesn't want to give up this early game damage. Early game kill, rather.
Yeah, the captain here for PrimeApes, Haiba, playing the Li Ming, and already going to get some of these orbs out onto the wall. One of them connecting and getting some damage onto that topside turret. Finally getting to see some of Cassia's abilities coming out, but she hasn't been stepping in too far as of yet. I think they're really waiting on Garrosh to find some of these tosses, help set up some kills, because that's really what this comp is designed for. The big lockdown and the big kills, but they have to do it without a hero that they had in game number 1, the Greymane and that Cursed Bullet, which was so effective playing against his Muradin.
Yeah, they're going to opt for the isolation, rather. Oh, big stuns here coming on to 11th. Good boop, and speed away keeps him safe. But again, you know, slight lead going over to the red team. Inexperience.
Trying to check out the top lane here. Looks like Imperius just went back to base to grab some mana, so that's going to leave Dahaka wide open in the lane, who really doesn't come online at least until level 4. Can struggle early, but already able to push Imperius out of the lane, so that's a win there for LuBu.
That is a big win. Oh, a little bit of a bomb spread. 2 minutes, 17 seconds. Teams are looking to think about taking their camps as Bandit begins to rotate up to those bruisers, calling for help as Streakwing will make it up there as well. Red team not yet made their way to theirs. Arrow, while Raynor takes Exterminator level 1, wanting for that early race on both camps and objective.
So, we haven't seen too much from Garrosh yet. A couple times throwing out that Groundbreaker and not connecting on the targets they want. Once again, you're going to see it there, just slightly off target for Spartacus. I would really hope we end up seeing a bit more accuracy coming out from Garrosh as the game continues. But look at this. It's going to be a double camp in the bottom lane for LuBu as the first objective is ready to go. It's a good half-level lead currently, but look at this. It's a half-immortal lead for the PrimeApes.
Yeah. That's true. And you know what? The Alan Hicks and Spartacus have swapped roles. Maybe that has something to do with what you've noticed here on the Garrosh not quite hitting all the Groundbreakers. At 5 stacks out of 15, though, is not too shabby.
Also on the Li Ming, Condemn will not connect, excuse me, Chastise rather, from Anduin. Doesn't hit the target. Here comes Cassie with the Fend. And it's actually Garrosh. 150 health might end up falling here as first blood. There's the spear from Imperius. Can Spartacus make it out? 26 health. Still surviving, but finally going down to the hands of Raynor. First blood of the game belongs to the PrimeApes.
Yeah, excellent. That Joshua Scott there played on Imperius. Got 2 back-to-back Qs with that cooldown reduction to do the level 1. Yeah, secured that kill on the Garrosh there.
And that'll leave wide open to the superior racing team the first objective of the game. The PrimeApes locking it in with over a 50% shield here. We're at the 4-minute and 20-second mark. And they're looking rather good so far with that first blood and first objective. They didn't get the macro out as well as LuBu did, but it didn't end up mattering, Stoic.
No, it didn't. They're down a tower, but they have this big old immortal that's going to take probably the whole of this blue team's wall, and more than equalize the structure damage here.
And you can't discount the Li Ming because she's going to be throwing out safe damage, which is really the critical part. She doesn't have to step in. She can just throw orb after orb at these structures. Although now Lucio under some pressure, trying to boost himself back up, but will not be able to. First kill of the game for LuBu. Now a drag onto Raynor from Alan Hicks, who made the big dig down here to try to help out the team. But they're only going to net the 1 kill, but it does mean they're able to save this fort.
Yeah, Alan Hicks there digging to deny Li Ming that triumvirate value, and this fort will survive. Red team now needs to be careful as their healer's not quite in lane yet. Spartacus finds the kill. Oh, finds the throw rather, not the kill. As Muradin's able to jump right back out.
A little hasty on the kill there, Stoic.
So I wasn't going to call kill. Big Groundbreaker. Lots of this damage over time. 11th again dropping low. Leaving Muradin.
Oh, the toss was on the money that time, and he did land the Groundbreaker. You see, that's the critical part. If you're playing the Garrosh, yeah, you can throw people, but if you're not stunning them along with it, it's usually pretty uneventful and not meaningful at all. But at that time, in that moment, Muradin will fall. I want to say a quick welcome in chat to my dear friend Arrow RG. Checking out Arrow 2 here, playing for the PrimeApes here.
This with the fall here of the tank, bottom camp will go again in favor of the blue team. Imperius and Shahaka, a slight stand up in the top lane.
What's been going on in the top lane? We haven't had to talk about these guys too much up here, but when they're making the rotation, we've seen a bit of impact from both of these players. But as for the lane, it's still pretty even, just a little tiny bit of damage onto the structures going in each direction. So I don't think either side has a true advantage as of yet.
Yeah, it is pretty equal. Both teams are going to be about equal experience. Red team slightly behind, but should get level 10 before this fight begins. Opting though to begin racing rather than going for their siege camp means that there will be a slight moment here where the blue team has the level advantage. Spartacus recognizing that. Ooh, good boot by 11th there to cancel the combo.
Well, they're in aggressive positions on these Immortals. You can see already whittling it down to about 60 or maybe 55% health are the PrimeApes, who won that first objective, and now with level 10, they can consider moving back in. But with the comp that LuBu has, they're not made to race. They're made to like fight this and get some kills. But as long as Li Ming's able to continue poking away with these orbs and these magic missiles, it's not going to be easy. There's a toss and the stun into the Immortal. And Murden could end up falling here as Silence, and now dragged by Dahaka does get the kill. Li Ming looking for a first reset and will get it. More orbs coming out. Can she find Dahaka? No. But they get the big kill they need, and that should be more than enough space to get themselves their second Immortal of the game.
Both team with no tanks, with the red team with incredible damage behind this. Blue team forced to back off. Going to try and get as much damage as they can of this Immortal, but another big one with a big old shield is now going to be running it down in the top lane.
We didn't end up needing to see the barrier in that fight. You know, maybe we could have ended up seeing it. I mean, Muradin did fall, so a Lucio Heroic being held back might have been able to save the Muradin in that fight. But either way, they're happy as a pig in mud right now, grabbing their second Immortal already after losing all the objectives on map number 1, Dragonshire. PrimeApes are looking much better here in game number 2.
Yeah, I think you're right. I'd like to see Lucio use that ultimate here to make sure they can secure this fort. They're looking to get a structure advantage, because damage does not mean catapults.
Bottom lane is still Imperious and Dahaka, but Dahaka can be here at any moment if he so chooses. Still trying to get this fort down, and I think they will end up getting it. Yes, they will. First structure of the game is down, and it belongs to the side of LuBu. Well done by the PrimeApes, continuing to be aggressive, now rotating up immediately onto the siege carries.
Yep, gonna be a quick take here. Frozen anchoring for his team, recognizing the team does not show. Steps away. Imperious, obviously hearing that a gank is coming, or just recognizing how weak that fort is, gonna safely back away. Spartacus goes for the groundbreaker for that incredible siege damage. Take out that bottom fort.
Hey, you know, if it gets the job done, it gets the job done.
I mean, it's true. Garrosh wants that range damage. Can you imagine how OP?
So even after the two Immortals belonging to PrimeApes, we're still pretty even in this match. Of course, a bit more structural damage has gone over for the PrimeApes onto the LuBu structures. But the XP total, it's pretty close. The kill count, it's pretty close. And this is a nice game we got going here in game number 2.
5-man in bottom for red. They're looking to collapse onto this fort. Joshua Scott looks like he's looking for that flank angle, trying to see if Cassia takes a step too far, and he finds that spear. Violet jumping in, trying to get that Aetherwalker value here. That 10% increased damage if you cast magic missiles. But not able to connect that on heroes or structures.
Checking out our timers, looks like 30 plus seconds on each of those camps. In fact, the one on the right side, it's still on the map. Dahaka trying to clear it out in the top lane. So incoming is Bandit on this Kael'thas, going to help Alan Hicks clear it out before this objective, which creates enough space in the bottom lane for the PrimeApes to pick up their second fort of the game. Going to even up the catapult pressure here in the bottom lane.
Really, Imperious finds the Garrosh hiding. So much damage coming out so quickly out of this blue Immortal. More than halfway to the halftime now. He's the red team. Imperious looking around again, looking for that flank. Joshua Scott seems to find out of position, but out of position is frozen a little bit as he is stunned in the Immortal. Jumps away.
Oh, and tossed right back into the Phoenix.
Right back in.
Oh my God. Oh, well, that's the kind of play they need. Really set up by the Dahaka that time. Now, Groundbreaker onto Imperious. There's the Angelic Armaments, but so much damage is applied, doesn't matter. Kael'thas falls, and it's a 1-for-1. But no tank, just the Imperious still standing for the PrimeApes. Is that going to be trouble? Especially here if Joshua Scott can get flipped over. He doesn't.
Incredible boops all game by 11th on Lucio, keeping his team alive as he pushes the blue team away. Shout out to 11th there.
Garrosh with the stealth might find the Rainer. They do. Arrow now getting sliced and diced by Cassia and that Fend. There is the isolation onto Imperious. He can't get out. The Drag's going to connect as well, and see you later, Imperious. A double kill for LuBu, but doesn't matter. This thing is so low, and Li Ming's going to try to finish it off herself.
1,700 health left on this Immortal. Blue team has to send one down to try and race, but they need to keep the team up here because a lot of race potential if these orbs connect.
someone has to play offense. You can't only play defense.
And you know what? The ping is coming in this top lane is, look, there is a catapult and a fairly large minion wave in the top. So blue team is now on the clock. They have to respond to top lane or try and get this Kael'thas to pick up the pace on the race. Because red team is now collapsing here on this Immortal. Li Ming finding that orb. 1,100 damage left. 800. Triumvirate resets are going to close out this Immortal. Now the healthiest Immortal yet. Coming down to the bot lane.
Yeah, the healthiest and the strongest all at the same time. This could be pressuring this keep down. It's definitely going to be on the wall, but if they get any kills, I mean, Stoic, we could end up seeing the end of the game here in the right situation for the PrimeApes. This Immortal could send us to a game number 3 if it's played correctly.
I think you're right. I think if I'm red team, we're going bananas right now, trying to make sure that we use our ults in conjunction to find these early kills to spiral this game into a game number 3 and match point.
There's the Haka trying to press out past their own wall. Now inside that Hyperion from Raynor, that's going to help get a lot of damage done onto these structures. But now with that thing moving past the wall, they're able to step out even further. But so much chunking coming out from Haiba and this Li Ming, they just can't really do much against it.
Yep. Triumvirate reset after reset. And there's another one. Just more and more orbs coming in. Wow. Alan Hicks taking so much damage onto Haka. Again, somebody needs to step up and get on this Li Ming because she is just getting free poke.
Immortal not quite able to finish off that keep. There's the retreat from Lucio getting everyone out. I think they're pretty happy with what they got done, but they're not the happiest, Stoic. They're just moments away, just a couple auto attacks away from finishing that one off. Kael'thas will find them in the bush, but Muradin popping Avatar is going to be just fine. Or will he?
We speak too soon. Big stun top combo. Shield coming out from Joshua Scott. And Garrosh falls, but so does Muradin. So both teams without a tank. Haka finds a drag.
Kael'thas with the big flame strike barrier is the only thing that's going to keep Haiba up. Continuing to get these orbs out, barely missing the Kael'thas on that one. But with so many resets, as you keep mentioning with this Triumvirate, I mean, Haiba has definitely been a big MVP player here in game number 2.
Yeah. This bottom camp will go over the blue team. Red teams need to find some value somewhere here. They still have their top lane fort, which has caused catapult pressure to keep this lane pushed up. I think that they just, at this point, they should just go knock this keep down. I mean, this keep falling during objective. They know the blue team is rotating up. They have now shown on the wave exactly is what Arrow's doing. Joshua Scott should make sure he's protected as he knocks down this keep. This is, I mean... not worth the death, maybe, but the keep falls.
I gotta say thank you in chat, and Stoic, maybe you need to say thank you too. DB Smiley gifting out a sub, and guess who got it?
Who, me?
It's you.
That's my second one. That's what I'm talking about. Thank you, DB Smiley. I now have my emote back, so I can spam them.
Well, welcome to the Bruiser camp here. It looks like LuBu's starting to finally get aggressive. They've lost all the Immortals so far. But maybe with Raynor down, this is the chance they've been after. Do they play some offense this time? I think they've got to.
Yeah, you know what? Raynor will be back for halftime, though. So if the red team can stall this out, we have catapults every lane in the bottom. PrimeApes, they're not out of this yet. They're down 8 kills to 4. But I think they can still make this happen here. They're clearing this top wave. They're going to wait for the reset with Raynor. And as the Immortals change positions, and I think they're going to look to see if they can burn this down.
The Haka now being sent down to the bottom lane to clear out that wave. But I don't think it's going to matter. They're 50% ahead, of course, on this race. And if they just force it in here, they could end up walking away with this Immortal. Stoic, what are your thoughts on who's going to take this one?
I think that red team could have a defense here while Raynor goes to race with that exterminator value. Li Ming can get so much poke, and if between the Qs from Muradin and Joshua Scott, I think maybe they could stall this out. Looks like that's what they're opting to do here, though. But this team fight ult combo for the red team is, or blue team, Muradin with the in and then out. Kael'thas not able to find that Phoenix value here, but Spotic is stalling this race, and it is enough.
Well, they pulled out every trick in the book trying to finish off that Muradin, but he's able to survive. Great job by Lucio and that barrier really saving the day. It could have been a big death at a horrible moment for the PrimeApes. They end up losing this Immortal. First one of the game now for LuBu, as they're in the full stealth mode, ready to go with a over 50% shielded Immortal in this top lane. They only got 1 fort down so far, so no pressure onto a keep as of yet. And with a hero like Leeming on the other side getting a reset after a reset, I don't think this thing's going to end up getting through a keep by any means.
No, I think that red team's keep is safe. They need to make sure that no one gets picked off. Excellent job there, booping that Spartacus back. This needs to be play it safe and slow behind the wall, relying on those structures that are still there. Joshua Scott in a bush looking for the possible flank.
Could be a big spear here.
Could be a huge spear. Oh, but needs to be very careful. A death could spell disaster.
Well, Stoic, we also got to pay attention. Oh, as the drag lands on Leeming, that could be the spot they're looking for. Now a taunt onto Lucio. A double kill for LuBu with this Immortal still on the map. I said they might not get the keep, but now looking at it, it could be a different story. It's down below 20% health, and they're going for the toss in onto the Haka. Gonna miss the drag, but here's a light bomb. Doesn't hit anyone. Only the Imperious, but the keep does fall. Joshua Scott now with those angelic armaments as the ball lightning comes out. Will be a triple kill for LuBu. Can they close it out? I think the answer is yes. After being down this entire game, will they walk away with the win? But look at the other side of the map. Catapults on their core, Stoic.
Yeah, I don't think those catapults are going to matter here. There was so much damage. Frozen dropping low. Raynor also getting stunned here. But, I mean, the teams have wiped on less.
Kael'thas getting hit by that middle tower. Needs to be careful now. Below 50%, 40%, 30. They're trying to close it out. 20. The 10 spot. Can they get the last bits? They will. LuBu in heroic fashion, able to find the kills at the end of the game when they matter most. They walk away with the big domination tonight over the number 8 seed PrimeApes.
You know, if I'm not mistaken, I think Kael'thas was the linchpin in that victory. I think he found a gravity lapse on Li Ming when she stepped up to get an orb, or to get that orb off, and I think that's what started the chain that really ended up causing PrimeApes to fall there.
So maybe a bit of struggle with the Garrosh didn't end up mattering. They had some great play in the solo lane from the Dahaka. I mentioned at the start of the game, that's one of my favorite heroes. You don't get to see too many of the dinosaurs these days, but when you do, you love seeing it when they don't fall. 19,000 XP was able to be soaked, which is almost double what the Imperious was able to get out. Really a big difference maker there for Alan Hicks, being able to step up in a big moment for their team.
Yeah, I think you're right that, I mean, all of those minion kills, all of that time in lane nullified the structure and objective advantage that the red team was able to get there.
And huge drags that set up those kills. I mean, without those drags, I don't think they end up walking away with as many as they did. 12 to close it out.
I mean, they had a very scary CC lockdown chain. I mean, you have Garrosh with his ability to displace and stun, the throw, mortal. He's got his mortal combo. Then you have Dahaka's tongue. Then to follow that up, you have the gravity lapse, as well as the Anduin chastise or light bomb, and then Cassia damage during all of that. I mean, that's just tough.
Yeah, we also saw a big ball lightning come out to close that out to finish off Joshua Scott's Imperious. I mean, they were losing the whole game, LuBu, and they get what they need when they need it to close it out. I mean, they couldn't have asked for a better spot there at the end.
I think you're right. I mean, I think that they played patient. They didn't rush into anything. They just slow played it there, and they were able to find that one kill on that, you know, Li Ming, who had done so much damage all game. But you know what? When you're dead, you can't deal damage.
Well, Stoic, I'm gonna hop on over to the NGS chat, try to get someone in for an interview if you don't mind.
I'll be there.
All right.
But which one?
Boop, boop.
A little bit of lobby Frogger here.
Hello?
Lots.
Hello? Hello? Are you with me?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm trying to reach out to Alan Hicks, see if we can get him in.
Hey, Murda.
Hey! I didn't even have to message him. So smart.
Well, I actually sent you a message like 3 minutes ago, and I was waiting to hear back from you.
I know, we were chatting about the post game and all the stats and like how incredible the ending was. While it's fresh in your mind, walk us through those last moments of Battlefield of Eternity, because I mean that map was not going your way, but you found it what you needed there at the end.
Well, the very last moment was Bandit, our KT player, looking up and saying, "Oh, our core's at 78%," because the enemy minion wave was pushing on it, and there was probably like 3 katas by that point. But yeah, that game was it was tough because we outkilled them significantly. It was like 14-4, but we
12
would
to
get
4,
these we would get like these 1 or 2 picks here and there. But it was never enough for us to just safely grab the immortal. So they had, like the first 2 or 3 immortals, maybe
Yeah.
it was the first 3.
3, yeah.
But then once it got to late game, once we were able to get a couple kills and the death timers had extended out, then we were able to finally take one. And even though it was only like a 3/4 health immortal, I don't think it was even quite that big. It didn't have a ton of shield on it, I don't think.
Yeah. I
But
mean,
we said we're going to keep with this, and then once Bandit on the KT picked up the gravity lapse, and I had the follow-up drag on that Li Ming, that was basically it.
Yeah, that's exactly the spot. I mean, I was talking about how Dahaka, you don't get to see too many, but tonight, I think that game number 2 MVP does belong to you. There were so many opportunities really afforded to your side because of the drags you were able to land with Dahaka. Great isolations as well, able to really force your way around the map using the full kit of the hero and applying it on the right targets at the right time, especially in that final sequence.
Yeah, that is the first game I've played with Dahaka after getting level 100 on him. That's the first time I ever did the level 100 mastery taunt right there at the beginning of the game.
Nice. I did see that. I was wondering whose taunt that was. It was you then.
Yeah.
Well, let's quickly rewind and talk a bit about Dragonshire. You guys opened up the night trying to target ban out a few heroes, the Rexar, the Orphea. We actually saw that Orphea ban come out twice tonight. It seemed like you guys came in with a game plan. You were confident in having that Leoric do the double soaking duty, and I think the combo set up with the Greymane really was the big deal in game number 1. You want to talk a bit about the hero? We haven't been seeing as much of him, but up against a Muradin with that cursed bullet, it's just so good.
Yeah, the Greymane the Greymane's just been a solid character since he was ever first released, right? Regardless of what iteration he's been on, he's been buffed and nerfed and reworked a few times and talents changed around, but he's always been just a solid pick, especially
Mr. Reliable.
in the hands of a good, especially if you put him in the hands of a good player. And Streetwing definitely counts as a good player in my opinion. And once we knew from scouting that there were 2 tanks that they played predominantly. ETC, which they played 15 games of, and Joe, which they played 6 games of. I mean, that's 21 of their NGS games, right? If you take those out, there's not a large tank pool left in there. So when they banned the Joe, we're like, we'll first pick the ETC. And
then game 2, they banned out both of them.
Yeah. And we decided, when they banned up both of them, we just decided, hell, let's switch things up. I haven't solo laned this year. Why don't we throw me in the solo lane and we'll put Spartacus on Garrosh in the front lane.
Nice.
And so I went back to the role that I played in the last 3 or 4 NGS seasons. And
well, welcome back to the solo lane, right? That was my position too when I used to play.
Yeah, I love playing the solo lane because you kind of get to chill and focus a one-on-one duel, and there's all these little nuanced pickups, and I gotta hand it to Joshua Scott. He played Imperius on him in the second game. He played really well on the Imperius. A lot of times I can kind of bully people around with the Dahaka. I couldn't really bully him around with that. Shout out to him for playing well. But in the first game, when we saw they picked Yrel very early, we banned out the Rexar because it's Dragonshire, right?
Sure.
And they picked the map. So if we don't ban Rexar, we know we're going to be up against him, and that's going to be a nightmare, right? And then they pick the Urael, and we're thinking, you know, well, there's some people we can pick that will trade evenly with her. You know, they won't push the lane, they won't get pushed too badly, but we'll never be able to hold that top reasonably well, right?
Right.
So we just decided, well, let's not play that game. Let's just go the double soak game with the Leo and throw everything in bot and get an early lead on the structures and, you know, take it from there.
Yeah, well, it seemed like you guys had a better script on Dragonshire. You guys were going for the camps early, started off with the siege, immediately brought the Greymane and crew up to the Bruiser camp as well, and I think that pressure just kind of continued all throughout the map, whereas your opponents weren't quite on that same level. Do you feel as though that was really the difference maker on D-Shire? I mean, you guys got some very quick Dragon Knights on that map.
Yeah, I don't know if we can say that it was the difference on that particular map. It has definitely been a difference in this season. Our micro play is not as good as some of the other teams. We don't have the wombo that some of the other teams have always. Like, you know, and that was on full display in game 1 with the Warden's Cage, Ring of Frost, Bloodlust. You know, those wombos were where they really got their big moments on. We don't do that as well as other teams, but our macro is really strong. And our camp timings are really strong for, you know, a Division C team. And that's really helped carry us through the season and into the playoffs now, I feel.
Well, I definitely agree. Stoic, how about you? Any questions about our Dragonshire map?
Yeah, one for you. First of all, I thought when I kind of saw that double soaking coming out of Leoric, I thought it was interesting and a good response, and it paid off for you very well there. Definitely plan on sneaking that back to my team as another thing to put in my pocket. But my question revolves around the Rhaegar, who's become so popular in this latter half of Season 9 of NGS. It seemed to me the Deckard Cain was drafted in response to the Rhaegar's bloodlust. But really, what were your in-coms, both in draft and afterwards? How did you guys plan to, you know, capitalize off of after the Deckard sleep into the Rhaegar?
Well, we have played a fair bit of Deckard. I don't know if we played a fair bit of him in NGS, but we've certainly played a fair bit of him in draft modes in the game with some success. And we like having a support that has a lot of CC, and Deckard definitely brings a lot of CC to the game, right? And when we saw that they had, you know, Bloodlust, when we saw they had the Rhaegar, we figured it was going to be a Bloodlust comp, right? Because that's what everybody's doing these days. I still think Ancestral Healing is really strong, and may have been the better pick for them there, since they didn't have a ton of AA damage. You know, Maev is still mostly spell damage with the resets. Jaina is nothing on AAs. You know, so maybe Ancestral would have been the call there, but we figured it was going to be Bloodlust, and we knew we were going to have some way of disengaging other than just ETC, right? And Deckard certainly brings that with the stay a while, because you can stay a while and, you know, shut down that enemy engage for a short duration, and, you know, make some space for you to get out. And so that was certainly part of it. And, you know, during game, during comms, you know, he was communicating that was up. He was sitting there holding it for when they did those big engages. We weren't going to engage with stay a while. We were going to use it to stop their engage, to disengage, or to counter engage. You know, we weren't going to go in and look for picks with it. That's what Entomb's for, right?
Well, Alan, you guys walk away tonight with the 2-0 victory. It's going to push you guys forward into the semifinals here in Division C East. You're going to be up against Probius or Scalding Sweat Cult. Of the two, who would you rather be playing against in that next round?
Man, that's a tough question to answer. I think we would like to play Probius simply because I feel like they're the better team, but we also know those guys a little bit better. You know, we have friendly relationships with some of the guys on that team. And so, you know, there's that. You know, we're going to be playing up against our friends. If we beat them, that feels great. If they beat us, that's not too bad. If we play against Scalding Sweat Cult and they beat us and go on, then we feel like that's a little bit tougher to swallow, right? When your pals are beating and winning, even if you lost, it puts a little bit of sweetness on top of that bitter.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think we would like to play Probius. Also, in the regular season, we beat Probius. I think it was 2-1.
Mm-hmm.
I could be wrong about that. They might have beaten us, but I think we won that match. Scalding Sweat Cult dominated us.
Oh boy.
I think we just we didn't really show up with everything we could bring to the table on that particular night. We had a really bad night, and that happens sometimes, and I wouldn't feel bad about getting a little bit of vengeance and beating them, but I would like to see Probius advance and play them, because I think that would just be more fun for us.
Well, you and the team could be resting easy tonight. It's a 2-0 win. You didn't even have to go to that third game. That's exactly what you were trying to do tonight, and that's exactly what happened. So, a job well done, and I think your whole team deserves the credit.
Yeah, I think everybody played fantastic. We switched a few things up. We pulled out, some tricks that we haven't used, and made them pay off. And I think everybody has something to be really proud of tonight.
Well, before we let you go, I'm going to give you a bit of time for some shout-outs. Alan, the floor is yours.
Well, I'd really like to thank you for casting this game. We haven't been casted a ton this season, and it's so much fun to get casted. And I think one of the reasons why is because almost all our games were scheduled on Thursday nights, and that's the most popular night.
That's
the
the
most
truth.
cast.
That's the night.
And that's just the way it is. So we really do get it. We really do appreciate getting casted, and the hard work you guys put in. It really increases our enjoyment.
Well, it's our pleasure, of course. We did just get an update in chat. Scalding Sweat Cult has won against Probius this evening.
Well, I'll have to rally my team and get some bloody payback for our friends on Probius.
There you go. Any other shout-outs, or is that it?
I think that'll cover everything. You have a wonderful evening now.
All right, Alan, appreciate you stopping in. Fun interview there, and best of luck next week in the semifinals.
Thank you.
All right, Stoic, let's get you back on video, my friend.
Alrighty.
Bloop, 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 bloop. Bloop, 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 bloop. And there's Stoic. Welcome back. So tonight, I thought maybe we were going to game 3. We didn't, so we're ending, about on schedule. Of course, we started a bit late because of the 30-minute delay, but who cares? We had a fun time tonight. Stoic, you have a good time?
These are great matches. It is unfortunate that the Apes weren't able to pull this one off, but good games. Both of them were very good games.
I want to remind you guys at home, the caster poll is open. If you want to vote for your favorite casters here in NGS Season 9, I think you're looking at them right here. Murda, Stoic, you can vote for both of us in separate categories. If you love us and you want to support us and you want to see us win, head on over to the NGS Discord in the announcements channel, find that poll, and vote for your boys. We'd love to have your votes. We really would appreciate the love. I had a great time this evening. Stoic, you said you had a great time this evening. Anything you want to say before we close it out tonight?
Yeah, please make sure you follow me on all my socials. I'm super active. I'd love to hear from you guys.
That is HLS Stoic on Twitter and Twitch. And of course, if you want to find me, I'm on Twitter at MurdaRG. You already know where I'm at here on Twitch. And if you want to be the coolest person, head on over to that link in chat that was just thrown out by the Nightbot, over to my YouTube channel. Hit subscribe there. I have a full catalog of every single match. If you want to watch anything that took place, not even just Season 9, you can go all the way back to Season 2, I think. Support me over on YouTube. Would really appreciate that. But other than that, I think that closes it out. We have a match tomorrow night. It's going to be Regen versus Quarantine, the Heroic Division quarterfinals. And Stoic, I believe you're joining me for that as well.
I will be there. Wouldn't miss it.
Well, that'll be taking place, I believe, at 11 p.m. Eastern, a late one. But we're going to stay up and bring you that action. Hopefully you guys make it back here tomorrow night. But until then, I've been Murda. He's been Stoic. You guys have been fantastic. And we'll see you guys in the Nexus.
And there's the tranquility again from Alperian, keeping targets up as Ragnaros landing a 4-man Sulfurous Smash. Durance of Hate from Mephisto, and this combination executed perfectly at the end of the game.
From Alarak, make it a quad kill set up by that ETC.
Wow, did you see that mosh pit? 4-man mosh pit while on a conveyor belt. That was like a regular sushi line.
Nubrak, 4 at 50%. Both cores are just absolutely melting. Which one's going to go down first? I think this is going to be Respect the Gooses. Oh my goodness.
Ring. Oh my goodness, the ring. Jaina just pulling up everybody here. That's a 4, make it 5
And it
for
does
nothing.
not fall up. What a play. Oh my God, somebody please clip that.